a short restorative practice that will hopefully serve as a little reset, whether that's in the middle of the day or perhaps at the end of a long day. I discovered a way to use one prop setup for an entire sequence, which is just an awesome way to save a little time for those transitions, as you won't have to maneuver your props around in between postures. So once we got things set up, we'll pretty much keep them in that position. I've got 2 yoga blocks, so you will need these props for today. 2 blocks, a bolster, and a yoga strap. And then the 2 blankets are optional, but for some support for your neck and head, you'll likely find them very useful. We'll start out here by bringing 2 blocks towards one end of the mat, and 1 block on the medium setting, 1 flat. If you look at your block setup from this angle, from this perspective, they create a kind of a T shape. And then lean your bolster against these 2 blocks. Okay. We'll bring 1 blanket to the top part of that cushion, and just know you can rearrange the size or the shape of it depending on what you need. And I will give you more options, but just to give you a little idea of what's coming, we'll sit right up against the edge of that bolster, leaning back. And right here, this can be it. So you're absolutely welcome to keep your legs long and work with your legs in a way that's a little bit more neutral. And really, the main emphasis here is this lovely opening across the chest, opening the arms out to your sides. Okay. However, if any of you want to add a little bit of hip work, you can bring the soles of the feet together. Create a blanket roll that's thin but fairly long that can be placed on top of the feet and under your ankles to provide a little bit of support for your legs, and then come onto your bolster from here. And let your eyes close when you're ready. Yeah. So with a restorative practice, depending on what you've been doing up until this point, if you've had a busy day, a stressful day, or even a very sedentary day, or maybe you've been reading a lot. So just kind of switching into this slightly different place here where we are bringing awareness to the body, awareness to the breath, but also settling into a sense of quiet and stillness. There's a little transition that takes place here, and I find that our breath is often quite helpful for those transitions. Okay. So when you're ready, do begin to notice your breathing here. And gradually let your breath deepen a bit. And we'll bring that into our 4-7 breath, where you're taking a big breath in through the nose. But to exhale, purse your lips. And exhale out your mouth. Inhale for 4. And exhale 7. Now, if you like, you can sprinkle in some short breath retentions. And there are 2 different options. One is for you to Inhale those 4 counts and then hold your breath for a couple of counts with your lungs full of air. And that can, as you go through your practice, it can help you to be a little bit more focused, a little bit more attentive, a little bit more aware and alert with what's happening. Or you may exhale those 7 counts and then hold your breath for 1 or 2 counts with your lungs empty. That will likely have a more calming, more relaxing effect on your nervous system, more grounding, more settling. So go with either of these options and take about 5 more breaths, and I'll give you a little bit of space to explore that. If there is that moment when attention drifts off, please remember it's really natural. And so just for you to recognize that, come back to your body and start this breathing cycle from the very top. And try one more full round. Yeah, and then as you complete that, come back to your natural breath. And simply take a moment to notice what's here now. Feel your body propped up, supported. Feel that natural ease in your breathing. And allow for your inner state to simply be the way it is. So if you're already noticing a little more relaxation and quiet here, notice that. If the opposite is happening for you, there's still a lot of thought, you're feeling restless or a little agitated, notice that. So see if you can really let yourself contact what's true for you right in this moment. And by giving permission to that, to perhaps also let yourself sort of process through that a little, kind of digest some of that restlessness by actually acknowledging it and saying, yes, you get to be here too. Yeah. Take a couple final breaths here in this shape. Use the support of your hands and fingers to bring the knees and thighs back together, and then press into your hands to bring yourself up to sit. And counter that pose by gently folding your body forward and over your legs. You can even let your head drop or find some small movements in the neck here. Yeah, take a slightly bigger breath in through the nose and then exhale with a sigh, let it out. Great. We're going to come up to sit and turning so that one hip is right up against the bolster. So if you're mirroring me, it will likely be your left hip. I'm setting aside the blanket, but otherwise I'll keep that prop set up just as it is. My left foot is up against the front of the knee here, but just know that if that doesn't feel comfortable in your body, you can stack your knees and even bring a blanket or pillow between the knees. We'll turn towards our bolster, hands on both sides, and take a moment to lengthen through the spine. Turn your body towards your cushion a little more so that as you walk your hands forward, the idea is to really get our belly and chest onto the cushion while turning the head the same direction the knees are pointing. Okay, so there's a little twist in the spine. And then one thing that I want to point out and just offer as an option, your back leg or top leg, it's going to be your right leg. You can slide this knee a little bit further back or behind you. And by doing so, perhaps you find that there is a little bit of a kind of an opening through the front of the hip and thighs. So if there's anything about that that's interesting or valuable to you, go with that. And otherwise, stay where you are. Let your eyes close. And begin to really notice here the parts of your body that are in contact with props or in contact with the floor. The left side of your face. Your chest. The sensation of pressure of your left hip pressing into the mat. Notice the texture of the floor or mat under your elbows, forearms, your palms, fingertips. Sensations of your legs meeting the ground here. And see if you can notice those experiences in your body without trying to describe what's happening or figure anything out or have this sort of narrative in the back of your mind. Really become present to what's happening in this moment as much as you can. Take a few slightly bigger, slightly longer breaths here. Maybe breathing into the back body a little bit here. And we'll place the hands under the shoulders to gently press up to sit. to prepare for the second side. So see if you can turn your back against the bolster. Keep turning, left hip against the cushion. Your hands will come to both sides of your bolster as you lengthen. And as you turn, trying to bring the front of the body facing the bolster. And then go ahead and walk your hands forward. Even along the way, you might just pause and turn your body a little bit further until you come all the way down. And this time, turn your head to your left, or again, the same direction the knees are pointing. Find a way for most of your body weight being supported by the cushion. So there should be very little weight or pressure on your shoulders here. And sometimes you may even slide your hands forward or out to find what's most restful in your shoulders. And then just if you like, you can slide the top or the back leg a little further back and just see if there's something about the front of the hip, some sensations that might light up there. Let your eyes close. And begin to feel your breath here. See if you can capture a little bit more detail about your breath here. Where do you notice pressure or restriction around your breath? And maybe other parts in the body where breath feels spacious and open. With each exhalation, almost as if you're giving yourself a little more permission to let go. Each slow exhalation, that invitation to let your body relax. Yeah, take a moment and let your breath deepen a bit. Even just a couple bigger breaths. Little preparation for that transition. And then place your hands below the shoulders and come up to sit from here. Now, you turn around and see if you can gather your strap. And you're going to need a loop. And this loop will go right around our calves or ankles, tighten up your strap a little bit. And of course, if there is some other sort of restful pose that might include a little inversion, you can use a chair or couch nearby. Do that. But this is just another way to go about this. There may be a blanket under the neck and head if you like. And you can also build up the height of this little bolster ramp more if you like by adding another folded blanket on top. And then the way we come into it is bringing our hips a little closer, scooting in, and then finding a way to bring our legs onto this ramp here and resting the head on another layer of blanket. Okay, so it's really about elevating our legs. So this is meant to be an inversion while letting the upper body be in a more neutral place here. But the other part of this that may be a little different and a little unusual at first, but I invite you to just kind of check it out and see what you think, is the way we hold our legs together with the strap. And quite often people find that they're able to release and relax the hip area a little more with that additional support here. Rest your hands either on your belly or arms long on the ground. Close your eyes when you're ready. And embrace what's happening in this moment here and now. Your experience of your body. Quality of your natural breath. Any thoughts or feelings that are present in this moment? And perhaps that sense of quiet and stillness that's present within. But really allowing your experience, whatever it may be right now. There's it's almost a form of generosity that you extend to yourself. When really embracing this moment as it is. To not push anything aside or pull away from what's happening. Not trying to make it different or fixing what's going on in any way. But really giving yourself that permission to just be who you are right now. Notice that kindness that comes with that. It's kind of generosity. This moment is enough. You are enough. And take a bigger breath in now. And exhale with a sigh. Try that just a couple more times, breathing in. And out. Take your time, one more. Yeah, now we'll go ahead and bend the knees. Be aware there's a strap around your legs and see if you can take that off and set it to the side. And then roll onto your side to come back up to sit. Oh, all right. I hope that was indeed a little reset opportunity to sort of ground yourself back into your body, into yourself a little more. And thanks for appreciating the subtlety and the quietness of restorative yoga. It's precious. Namaste.